Hello and welcome everyone. We're live.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining our live stream.
I can see we've got a few people joining us already and some reactions. We can have a look at that. But thank you everyone from wherever you are for joining us. So just a little introduction. My name's Gemma. I'm the relationship manager at Formula Botanica, and we are joined by the wonderful Lorraine. Hi Lorraine.
Hi everyone, it's fantastic to have you with us today, and so glad that you could join us for our live stream. So we've got a good one today, haven't we, Gemma?
We do, absolutely.
Yes, so we are halfway through the big sort of freebies that we've been sharing with all of you, and we thought it was time to pause for a day, have a chat with you all and talk about, drum roll, our newest, biggest, most ultimate course, our new Diploma in Beauty Brand Business Management, which goes live for its first student intake on June 25th.
June 25th.
So yeah, we're really excited. Sorry, what were you going to say, Gemma?
No, well, I was just going to say how excited we were about it and just how long it's taken us to put it together and how much effort the entire team has put into making this course a really thorough and kind of groundbreaking asset, if you wish, for indie beauty brand owners and anyone who's thinking about starting a skincare or hair care business. In fact, a cosmetics business.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you make toothpaste or deodorant or perfume or makeup or skincare or hair care or intimate care products or body care. It really doesn't matter because we cater for all of it, because a beauty brand is a beauty brand is a beauty brand, and there is a set formula you need to follow. And we've cracked that formula, haven't we?
We have indeed. It took us a long time. But like,
we speak to thousands of brands every year anyway. So we've taken all that knowledge from all of these beauty brands that we've worked with from literally all over the world. And then, not just that, then we've added in all of this expertise that we've gained from speaking to all these experts throughout the industry. So people in all over Europe, all over North America, all over Asia, Australasia, they've all joined us to talk about what it takes to be a beauty entrepreneur. So I thought maybe today we can have a little breakdown of some of these guests that we've interviewed. And I know you've probably seen some of the videos already if you're following us on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's here on our YouTube channel as well. So go and find this, our playlist on how to start an indie beauty brand, because we've got tons of little videos in there now that will help you start your brand. But yeah, I thought maybe we could run through them.
Yes, and just to say we've got quite a few more to come, so it is wise to follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, because we're putting a lot of stuff out there on that channel as well. So obviously at Formula Botanica, because we're going to obviously talk about the ones we've already shared, but we've got a load more to share as well.
We do, yeah. So I hope you've been watching them. If you haven't yet, scroll down, go and find them and let us know what you think. So we've had, let's run through some of the speakers we've spoken to already, because we've got basically 22 hours worth of interview footage in our brand new Diploma in Beauty Brand Business Management. And I know that because I have sat through all of it twice. So that's 44 hours of editing and reviewing that I've done there. So I know it really well and it's fantastic. And so we've got people in, let's start with the first module, which is all about mindset. And you did most of the interviews for that one, Gemma. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about who you interviewed.
Yeah, absolutely. So mindset was perhaps my favorite module, and I think probably one of the most important modules. And we put a lot of effort into that, and we really wanted to get people who were like at the top of their game to interview and share their experiences with you. So I interviewed Melinda Koss for the first module about entrepreneurial mindset and getting the right mindset. I interviewed Tamu Thomas from 360, all about creating a vision for your brand and why you need to have a vision. And that, I think, was perhaps my favorite interview that I did. It's also, I think, the longest of the entire course, perhaps.
Possibly, but it was a fantastic interview, and Tamu was very inspirational, and I loved what she was saying about, driving yourself forward and how you have to have that big vision in order to keep going.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it when she said, "I'm great at starting things."
Yes.
Ask me to start something and I'll start it, but follow through. And she's talking about how your vision helps you with, you know, your follow through. And if you don't have that, you can struggle with it. So yeah, that was I think one of my favorites. And then we also chatted to Shola K about being visible as part of your brand, and we put that into the mindset section, because I think, was there some stats we've got to share about?
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, because we put up little polls over the last couple of weeks. We've been polling people to try and find out what you think about starting your own indie beauty brand. So I've got some stats here. Let me just read them out. Do you feel ready to be a beauty entrepreneur was a question we asked. And 79% of people who responded said yes. And that is phenomenal. You feel ready. You're ready to take on the world and create your very own beauty business, making your own formulations or possibly, you know, outsourcing it. 21% said no. And obviously, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
You know, it is a big, daunting mountain that you've got to climb. But my goodness, when you get to that summit, the world is your oyster and you've changed your life effectively. So that was one stat we had. Then the other one was, and that's to do with Shola. So as Gemma said, she interviewed Shola K on how to be visible in your beauty brand. And we asked, does being visible in your beauty brand scare you? And I think 100% of people said yes. Which shouldn't come as a surprise, really.
No.
Being visible, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
it's taken years to get there.
Yeah, and who's to say we're not scared right now?
Absolutely. So, then you had a fourth guest, didn't you?
Nicola Ray Wickham.
Yes.
Yeah, from A Life More Inspired. She was very inspiring as well. We talked about money management, money mindset and time management, and how the two relate, and how you need to kind of sort out your kind of money mindset issues before you can move forward with certain aspects of your business. And that is backed up further on in the course by a lovely interview with Arfi, all about finances.
What I really liked was Nicola when she said, you know, the price you put on your product is not your own price.
Yes.
And I thought that was a very powerful thing to say, because I know a lot of people, a lot of beauty entrepreneurs really struggle with that concept of the price I'm going to put on my jar of balm is what I'm worth. So therefore I can't put £100 or $100 label on it, which of course is not how it works, as we do explore later in the course. So that's module 1. Then we moved on into branding. So when you enroll for this course, you go through mindset first, because it is so important to get your mindset right. And then we move you on into branding. And we've got some meaty interviews in there as well, haven't we? And you did some of them, I did some of them. So we've got Imogen Matthews, who you interviewed on industry trends and how to follow them. That was a great one, wasn't it?
Yes. So we started off by looking at industry trends, and Imogen from Imogen Matthews Associates, and she's been in the kind of beauty trend sector for a very, very long time. And we talked about whether you should follow trends, what trends are. And I know that there was another interesting statistic. Was it a statistic from? Yes.
Yeah, I've got. Yeah. And this is an interesting one. Is it important to consider industry trends when designing your formulations? 75% of people said yes, 25% said no. I think that's interesting, because I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to this one, to be honest, which I think is also what Imogen talks about.
Yeah. And trends is such just a fascinating topic in itself. And I was talking to Liz, a colleague of ours at Formula Botanica, who does all of blog writing and stuff. And we were talking about whether you should just consider industry beauty trends or industry-wide trends, like looking at industry as a whole. And it's just a fascinating topic, and we really delve into it quite a lot. And then from Imogen, we move on to Sarira, from Pretty Analytics.
Yeah, we interviewed Sarira, as Gemma said, from Pretty Analytics, which is a beauty analytics company. And I have to say, I thought Sarira's interview was actually my favorite in the whole course, even though I did some of them too. But I loved Sarira's. She basically, she's incredibly inspirational with what she's created. She's created this algorithm to spot the next trends based on what people are talking about. And actually, when you enroll for this course, you get a discount code for her reports as well, which is obviously a fantastic bonus too. And she talks about finding the white space between what people are talking about. So if you're talking about naturals up here and sun care down there, and I don't know, veganism down here, then maybe you link that together to see that there's a white space for you to actually fill and create a new trend almost in something that marries all three concepts. So yeah, amazing. And interestingly, I then asked the question, do you find it easy to keep on top of beauty trends in the industry? And 100% of people said, no, I don't find it easy. I think we can understand, right?
Yeah, it's a tricky one, you know, because like we talk about in the interviews, how do you even know what a trend is? And if people are talking about it, is it actually a trend yet? And trends, you know, as we know, some trends are still carrying on from, say, the 60s. Other trends are a flash in the pan. They're here one day, gone the next. So that's a really interesting statistic. And I hope that when people take the course, they will be able to understand a little bit more about what industry trends are and how they can help you. And I'm hoping that in our business Facebook group, we're going to talk a little bit more about trends, you know, offering support to people who are confused about trends. Because, yeah, I find that whole area fascinating.
Yeah, and that whole part of the course that we've created walks you through, you know, how to monitor trends, but also how to find your niche, how to find your ideal customer, how to analyze your competitors, and then ultimately how to find what space you're going to fill with your brand, with your beauty brand. So very exciting. And then, sorry?
No, carry on.
As I was going to say, and then we moved on to how to create your beauty brand, basically. So beauty branding elements. And I interviewed Rachel Roberts from Oil and Water in the States, which was fantastic because she is all about finding your why. Why are you creating your beauty brand? And it is so important to know why you're doing it because it will just keep you focused, laser focused. Every single business owner needs a why. And I asked the question then, have you discovered your beauty brand's why yet? And of the people who watched our free video last week, 36% said yes, 64% said no.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people out there still searching for their purpose. Why are they starting a beauty brand? It's a tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough one. So yeah, it's going to take you a while to figure out. And obviously, we have workbooks and exercises and things to prompt you along. And obviously, you'll have peer support to talk about your ideas with your peers, which is always really, really helpful. And all those sorts of things can really help you in finding your why. And then once you find your why, how do you interpret that into branding?
Exactly. And then we walk you through all of that, don't we?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You spoke to someone on visual branding.
I did. I spoke to Brianna Sash from Wellness Stock Shop, who we've done a few bits and pieces with before, and we really like her work. And yeah, we had quite a detailed discussion on visual branding and, you know, the challenges, what you need to look for, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Yeah, that, again, quite a meaty interview, that one.
It was a long one. I mean, there's a lot to cover when it comes to visual branding, which is why obviously we place a heavy focus on that in the branding component of our new diploma. But we then also look at sensory branding, which was a fun one that you and I did together after that. Yes. And we looked at tactile branding, scent branding, taste branding, I've done touch branding, audio branding, and emotional branding, because there are so many things you need to consider as a beauty entrepreneur. You know, your skin is the biggest organ you have. You're putting something on it. And yet a lot of people don't think about that touch branding component. They just think about my brand is my label and that's it.
Yeah, and they don't think about the audio either. I mean, we were talking about, you know, the sound your product makes when you open it. I think people don't always think about that in terms of audio. Obviously, there's other components to audio branding, like, you know, your sound, your podcast, whatever you're going to do, that sort of like actual kind of listening with headphones kind of element. But, you know, what does it sound like when your product pops open? What does it sound like when you pump that mist? Like all those sorts of things I find incredibly fascinating. For me, it was probably the most interesting module that wasn't trends.
Yeah. Because then I asked the question, what's the most important beauty branding element apart from visual branding? And 50% of people said tactile, 50% said scent, and 0% said audio. So everyone's going for touch and scent branding.
Yeah, interesting. That's an interesting one. I guess it's still catching up slightly, perhaps.
Exactly. So that whole module really teaches you how to create a brand that can actually stand the test of time, that can change your customer's life, that can really build your business and give you success, which is really exciting.
Yes.
And then we move on into module 3 of the course, and we've got some fantastic speakers in there as well. And we've already rolled out some of the interviews for that too. So hopefully you've seen the snippets on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, on our IGTV channel, on Instagram. And I'm putting them on LinkedIn too. So they are literally everywhere. You can't miss them. And we're putting them out on Twitter as well. So in module 3 of our new diploma in beauty brand business management, we talk about finding your business model, figuring out your manufacturing model, then getting your legal framework in place and choosing the right certification scheme for your business. There's a lot in there, but I think once you've got through that branding component and then that business skills component, you are flying. You know, you are well on your way to having that business that you've always dreamed of. So in the first part of module 3, you interviewed a couple of our graduates, didn't you?
I did indeed. So the first person I interviewed for that was Zafran from 5 Botanics. And we talked all about starting a beauty brand as a side hustle. Again, a very enlightening interview. And I think people who are struggling to figure out how they are going to run a beauty brand alongside a job, perhaps you might have to do that in the beginning. I think that interview will show you that it can be done, what the ups and downs are of it, what the sacrifices might be. So I thought it was a really interesting interview, and I think that people are going to find it quite inspiring.
Yes, yeah. So many people want to start a side hustle and they want to start their beauty brand whilst they're working somewhere else, because that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? It costs money to start a business. Any entrepreneur will tell you that in every industry, and you need to get that money from somewhere. Now, you can go out and raise investment. You can go to the bank and get a loan. You can ask your family for love money, as we call it in the course, or you can just keep working and use some of the spare cash that you have, if you have any, to pump that into your beauty business. So I've got a stat for you on there as well. I asked the question, do you plan to start a beauty brand side hustle? And 80% of people who watched our video and responded said yes, and 20% said no. So you can see the majority of people out there want to do this as a side hustle, and that makes total sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think, you know, books like The Multi-Hyphen Method, I think it's by Emma Gannon, are really, really popular right now. And she talks about, you know, side hustles and, you know, alternative revenue streams. And I think people are really starting to think, oh, yeah, I could do that. Yes, I could incorporate that. Yes, it can be done. And obviously there's case studies of people that are doing that. But I also interviewed another set of graduates that have gone a different path, and they sort of started off as a side hustle in a way, and strategically moved to where they are now. So I chatted to Elsie and Dominica from Barbie Beauty, and we talked about starting a global brand. So they talked about their journey of how they kind of came up with their concept, how they started it, how it evolved, and how they've managed to raise quite a lot of money in funding and investment now. And what that has meant for the brand and how much it has grown. So they obviously now have a team of people, and their brand looks slightly different to Zafran's. But, you know, 2 different models, all of them great.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got some of their products behind me, actually. Can you see all these products here on my shelf?
They're quite small, but I'm sure.
They're all Formula Botanica graduate products, because I'm doing some filming next week, so I've had to get all of them out that I've been sent. Obviously, this is just a fraction of the products made by our graduates, but I have quite a few behind me, and I've got some of Barbie's up there as well, so I might go get some in a minute. But yeah, they've done it phenomenally well. I mean, they've raised over 7 figures in investment funding. They got personal loans from Richard Branson, both of them. They're selling in Sephora all over the world. You know, it's so exciting to see our graduates do that, and to think that only a few years ago they were working a day job and had a dream of starting a natural skincare business, and look at them now, jetting all over the world, starting or running the indie beauty brand of their dreams. It's really, really exciting, and you can do that too. And that's why we've created this course for you, to really help you through all of that journey, basically. So once we looked at your business model, we moved on to your manufacturing model, didn't we? So we covered 3 different manufacturing models in the course. The first one is making it yourself. And I interviewed Zane Piesse from Atlantis Skincare, who's also one of our graduates. And she's set up her own manufacturing lab and has the potential to churn out, I think it's about 200,000 units per year now. She's not quite at that stage, but she can do with the lab she set up. And that's really exciting. And when we put out that video, I asked the question, do you plan to manufacture your cosmetics in-house? And 89% of people said yes. Wow. Which makes sense. Attract formulators to us. People who follow Formula Botanica and are part of our community inherently want to formulate. So it's exciting to see that people want to start their own manufacturing labs and retain that all in-house. And there are brands that have done this, big ones, very successfully, like Pi Skincare, for instance. So
Green People.
Yeah.
Yeah, they manufacture in-house. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation, deciding those sorts of things. How are you going to do it, and what is the best model for you? And I think the interviews that we have in that section will definitely give people something to think about, because the next one from there obviously talks about working with contract manufacturers, and we spoke to Laura Badcock from Essential. I'm trying to remember the full name. Essential Wholesale.
Exactly.
And Labs. So I thought that was an incredibly interesting interview, because I know that a lot of people are worried about working with contract manufacturers, and yet Laura has detailed some of the reasons that you should, and some of the many very good points of how they can help you and assist you, particularly in regard to scaling. So when you have to scale your production, how are you going to do it? And manufacturers have amazing amounts of input that they can give you in that. So yeah, that is a must-see interview, I think, because some of the points she raised I hadn't really thought of before, and I think that people will find it enlightening.
Yeah, and Laura's been a member of the Formula Botanica community. It's super exciting to have her on board to come and do this interview, because, as you say, they run this massive contract manufacturing lab in Oregon, I think it is.
Yes.
They do phenomenally well with it. And they, as you say, Laura had all this advice to offer. And they also do private label manufacturing, which we also cover in the course. So we give you the blueprints on how to manufacture in-house, how to outsource to a contract manufacturer, how to outsource and do private label. It's all there in the diploma for you. So then we moved on to legals, and there are snippets of all of these videos here on our Facebook channel, by the way. If you haven't seen them yet, go and catch them, because we've been advertising them, we've been sharing them everywhere. Make sure you go and watch them. And I interviewed Diana Palchik, who's a trademark lawyer. She used to work at Mary Kay. Now she has her own company, and she runs a company called Beauty Mark as well, which helps beauty brands trademark their brand and helps them find a name that will then, be trademarkable. I'm not sure if she actually does the name searching bit, but she helps you avoid any horrible mistakes anyway. And then we also interviewed Karen Holden from a city law firm here in London, who talks about all the legal framework that you have to set up in terms of contracts and what you have to think about, and covered some trademarking advice as well. So we tried to get two lawyers from opposite sides of the Atlantic to try and cover a more sort of global field anyway when it comes to legals. And we give you the legal framework that you need to be thinking about. Which contracts should you have in place? Obviously, we can't give you the contracts because our students are in 144 countries and it will vary everywhere. But we'll tell you what to set up. And then the final part of Module 3, which I think was the video that went live yesterday, was your interview with a very special certifying body, wasn't it?
Yes, we interviewed Abigail Stevens from the Vegan Society. Again, another interesting interview talking about processes, certification, benefits, what you need to think about. I mean, I think that the interview was great, obviously, and the Vegan Society certify worldwide, so that's an interesting body to talk with anyway, because we wanted the whole course to be representative of as many different kind of countries as we could, because our students are from so many different countries. So it was really important that we tried to get people who could speak to a global audience. But also the manufacturing component of the module is so detailed, and there's so many different options in there that I think there is something for everybody. And I think that also once you listen to that interview and you read that module, you'll think about certification slightly differently, I think.
Yeah, and I asked the question on yesterday's video, do you want to get certification of any kind, not just vegan, for your beauty brand? And 58% of people said yes.
Wow.
42% no. So it's almost an even split, really. People aren't quite sure yet about certification. And we had a bit of a chat about it on our Instagram channel yesterday as well, actually. So go and check out yesterday's post to see what people said. Because I asked the question, what sort of certification would you like? And we had such a wide range of responses. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff ranging from wildlife friendly to carbon neutral to vegan to cruelty free, you name it, really.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of choice. And also, I think some certification bodies have had a little bit of a bad rap in the press in the past years. You know, people have questioned their purpose, questioned their ethics, questioned their costs. And I think that when you go through that module, it's a very chunky module, and there's so many different options that we cover. Yeah, it might demystify some of those things and might, you know, get you to understand why those things might have been brought up and kind of what the key issues are. So
we're giving away all of these free videos over the coming weeks. We've just done 16 videos that have gone out.
We have
over the last weeks, and we've got another 16 to go. Oh my goodness. Free stuff that we're sharing. It's so exciting. So the next videos that are going out will cover a range of topics, including finances. So it's all about how to plan your finances, how to cost and price your products, how to raise investment funding. We've got some interviews with Crowdcube, who are a crowdfunding platform, an equity crowdfunding platform, with true venture capitalists actually in this course to teach you how to raise venture capital for your beauty brand. And we're giving you a snippet in the coming week. Then we move on to retail and distribution, you know, how to work with distributors, how to work with agents, how to work with retailers, how to get your e-commerce site set up, the infrastructure you need. You'll be seeing me again in that one. How to work with warehouses and fulfillment centers. You know, often it's easy to think, when do I start working with a warehouse? I'll do that when I have sales. Interestingly, both our guests in that module basically said, you start now. You start now, you free up your time and you go with it. One of our guests even said, if you don't have the money to work with a fulfillment center, I still recommend you do it now and just go get a second job delivering pizzas. That's how important it is. So that was quite strong words.
Yeah. I know people always tend to think about it last, don't they? And then when you hear the stuff that they bring up in those interviews, you're thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to think about that first.
No. And then the final module is all about marketing, PR and sales. So we've got quite a few freebies coming up for that as well in the middle of June on retail marketing, how to prepare for retail marketing, how to use retail to grow your beauty brand, how to work with PR agents, how to work with influencers, how to work with, how to set up a digital marketing funnel, how to set up your digital ads. So we've got so much information coming. So please do check out all the videos that are coming out in the next 16 days, because they're here for you and they're here to help you start or grow your beauty brand.
Yes. And I think we start off, the next interview we share is with Arfi Majid, yes. All about finances and getting your finances in order. So that's a really good one to listen to. And, you know, get an idea about what you need to do for your finances. And obviously module 4 is, again, quite a chunky module, lots of templates and workbooks to work through to help you get the best out of the finances that you have when you're trying to start your beauty brand. So it is a must listen.
Yeah, lots of free templates and spreadsheets in the course as well, because obviously finances is something a lot of brand owners struggle with. So we want to make it easy for you. So if you have any questions for us about our new business diploma, pop them in the chat, because we'd love to hear from you and we'd love to help answer your questions about that. But as I said, 16 days of videos to come. And then on the 25th of June, we open up enrollment for our very first student intake. And the really exciting news is, because it's our first student intake, we're offering £100 discount. You don't need a code. It will just automatically be deducted from the price for that 1 week until July 1st. So very, very exciting, and an amazing special offer for you to effectively transform yourself from formulator to entrepreneur. and start the brand that you've always dreamed of. Just like our graduates behind me, like all these products you can see lined up on my shelf here. You know, these are people who were just like you, sat at home, worked a job, maybe had a family, maybe whatever. They were in those same circumstances and they had a dream of starting a beauty brand. And oh my goodness, they've done it. Isn't that inspirational to think that they were in your shoes and now here they are making and selling the beauty products they've always wanted to?
Indeed, I think you're going to see a lot of inspirational videos that showcase people who have done that very thing. I mean, we've got an interview with Angie Rupol, who started Abati Swiss, and she talks all about her experiences with Sephora going through their accelerator program. So you'll be able to see someone who has started a brand and done that, which is a pretty amazing feat. We've got a few questions that have come up. I just want to answer this one quickly from Victoria. You said, what is the name of the company again? I think that comment popped up when we were talking about BuyBee. So they were the graduates that we were talking about who'd raised a lot of investment funding. So Lorraine has just gone to get one of their products, so you can see it a bit better. I was looking to see if I had one here on the side, but I don't. I thought I had the lip scrub.
They've got their boosters this week. So here's their Bakuchiol booster. Isn't that cool? They've got all these amazing boosters like strawberry oil, bakuchiol, and then this one. I haven't tried it yet, actually. It only arrived yesterday. This is the speed booster. So they've got.
Can you hold up the packaging a bit better? Oh, yeah, there it is. So BuyBee. So it's BYBI. It stands for Buy Beauty Insiders.
Yes.
So I think that was the company that you were talking about.
They've also got their lip scrub and lip balm.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was looking for over here. I thought that I had it next to me, but I don't. I think it's in the bathroom.
So these are graduates of Formula Botanica, you know, and they basically credit their formulation success and where they are today by taking our courses, which is super exciting. Here's Plumper, their lip, they call it lip balm. That's it. And so they have, I'm not holding it up properly.
It's in there now.
And they're doing super well. And they're now stocked in Sephora in all over Asia, Sephora Australia, Sephora Paris. They're heading for the US as well. So you'll be seeing a lot more of them. And we're very proud.
Big things coming from them. Yeah. Next question was, is there a part of the diploma that deals with cosmetic regulations?
We do cover that, not in our new beauty brand business management diploma though, because obviously that's more to do with formulation. So in our diploma in organic skincare formulation and our diploma in organic hair care formulation, we'll teach you how to make sure your formulations are compliant with the law. And that is, well, those are our most popular courses at the moment until we launch the new beauty brand management course. So yeah, if you want to learn about that, that's all on there. We also have a free podcast episode, actually. Our third ever episode covered cosmetic regulations. So It might be worth checking in on that, because that'll give you a bit of a framework as well before you come and hopefully take one of our courses.
Yeah. And then our next question was, hi ladies, do I need any equipment before I start the course?
Well, it depends on which course you're taking. If you're starting our diploma in organic skincare formulation, then we don't recommend investing in a huge amount of equipment to start with, because we want you to just get to grips with formulating first. You'll need things like, it'd be good to invest in some beakers, and you'll need some scales, but they don't have to break the bank. Now, there's a fantastic blog post on our website called How to Set Up Your Artisan Skincare Lab. And if you pre-register for our courses at formulabotanica.com/pre-registration, and hopefully someone can put that in the comments afterwards.
Yeah.
You'll be able to access that blog post straight away, actually, and you'll be on the mailing list. So we'll keep you informed of when enrollment opens. If you want to enroll for our diploma in beauty brand business management, then no, you don't need any equipment, because obviously this is all about starting your business and giving you the business skills you need to get going.
Well, one thing that you will need is a computer. That's all you need, a computer and a willing attitude if you want to take the diploma in beauty brand business management. So yeah, and something to do your worksheets in. I would recommend some sort of like journal or something, perhaps. But in terms of like actual real equipment for that course, no. But for the diploma in organic skincare formulation, we do have a recommended list of basic equipment. And yeah, if you email us at hello@formulabotanica.com, we can send that over to you. I can see that my colleague has just posted up the pre-registration link and the how to set up your artisan skincare lab. I wondered why it stopped me from typing. I think because someone else was responding as us. I was trying to type and it wouldn't let me do it. But yeah, I think we've answered all the questions that have come up.
Cool.
If you've got any more, you can obviously still post over here and we can answer those for you. Absolutely. One of the team will get back to you. You can also get in contact with us, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Formula Botanica. We're sharing these videos. We're sharing everything about the business course on those channels. And we're going to do some really interesting Instagram Q&As like Lorraine mentioned shortly.
Yeah, we've got an exciting few weeks ahead. So 25th of June, we open early enrollment basically for our new diploma in beauty brand business management. That will be the only course that is available at that time because it's our newest and biggest course and we wanted to give you an extra week basically, plus this amazing discount that you'll get if you enroll before July 1st. Between July 2nd and 9th, we open up everything. Pretty much all of our individual courses. The only thing that won't be open is our package of courses. So you can basically then enroll for the diploma in organic skincare formulation or the diploma in organic hair care formulation or our individual certificates in natural cosmetic preservation, cosmetic stability testing, organic anti-aging skincare, our advanced diploma in organic cosmetic science. All of these courses will be available for you between July 2nd and 9th. And the next time that we'll be opening enrollment for all of our courses will be in January. So
2020.
Exactly, 2020. So it'll be 6 months away, which is why obviously we want all of our student intake to come in at the same time so that they can work together, because we get people to, we try and get people to buddy up, get study buddies, we have live study sessions, we have all sorts of live events, and we want students working through the course materials as much along the same lines as we can, because that really helps us when we're teaching it as well. So yeah, now is your chance. Not much longer to go until we open enrollment. So do click on that pre-registration link, because that will take you straight through to the website and you'll be able to put your name down. You don't have to pre-commit to anything. You don't have to pay for anything. It is just literally saying, I would like to enroll and I'd like you to tell me when we open enrollment. So come and click on that and we'll keep you informed.
Yes, please do pre-register. So it's formulabotanica.com/pre-registration, and the link is in this live stream commenting section. But if you are confused about that or you don't know where to go, just email us at hello@formulabotanica.com and we can tell you where to do that.
Cool. Well, if you have any other questions, as Gemma said, get in touch with us. We'd love to hear your questions, and we hope we've told you a little bit about the business course today that's got you excited. Obviously, we've got lots of people pre-registered to take it, and those people are going to be storming through it and starting this dream brand of theirs that they've always wanted to have. And some of the students who study with us, you know, they've wanted this since they were children. They've always wanted to have this amazing beauty brand. So we're really excited that we can now put this final piece of the puzzle in place by offering you this ultimate training course.
Yes, we're very excited. And a lot of effort and hard work has gone into it. So I know you guys are going to be pleased with it when you take it.
Yes, I'm very, very proud of it. So it's going to be a fun one. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. If you're watching this on the replay, come and head over to formulabotanica.com or come and pre-register, as we've just said, or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're pretty much everywhere. So just type in at Formula Botanica and you'll find us, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.